We're joined by the South African males national team coach, Jabulani Vilane, and they were part of the SPAR challenge where we got to see the SPAR Proteas playing up against the Malawi Queens. And it was exciting just to see the men being curtain raisers of this exciting tournament. The women won the tournament 3-0, and so did their counterparts, that is the men. Coach,
Yes,
welcome to the Netball South Africa podcast.
thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for making the time. Coach, you were invited to being a part of this huge tournament. How did it feel, Nje, getting this invite of being part of this huge tournament?
It's a great pleasure because we were looking forward to have something that we can do, and in our plan, then Netball South Africa brought it to us because we had to take special leaves to come here and showcase and to show people how men play netball and what men can do in the netball world.
And what was it like for you? But also, I think just playing indoor.
The arena was electrifying, and the boys show that they are in the party and they bought into whatever strategies, game plans, patterns, tactics that we're putting in. And I'm very happy with the boys that were here. They didn't complain, but they seized the opportunity and they make the opportunity last for them. And when we finalize the team that is going to Namibia, it's going to be a huge headache because there are other boys who are going for Fast 5 and they have to come back and fight for the spot to go to Namibia in December.
You've got a headache already.
And you know what's the funny part?
Yeah.
The funny part is that most of the boys I've coached, the ones that are going to New Zealand, I coached them, and some of the ones that are here, I coached them. So they now know what I want and how I want my team to play. Because if you don't apply the patterns, you don't get into strategies that I'm putting in, that means you will fall out. Yeah.
How tough was it playing up against Zimbabwe? Because I know you are a coach that does not like losing.
Yeah, my mentor, Dr. TV Mkize, used to say, I don't do monkey work. So if you want to be a champion, you must behave and you must act like a champion. You cannot be a champion, but you don't behave like a champion. You respect yourself first, you respect the badge, you respect the club, and you respect the people who are giving you an opportunity to be on court. So that's where this thing came along. So, and now I'm trying to take it further to other players who will soon become coaches, and some of these players are coaches. So the culture that we are trying to instill, it must remain for our South African netball fraternity.
Looking at the competition that Zimbabwe brought in, what does it say to you as a male coach about the growth of netball on the continent?
Zimbabwe had lots of mind games that they were playing. So in today's game, I had to give them one card to see what they have. So as a person who used to playing cards back at home, so I just throw in some few pointers for them. So I wanted to see how they will take the bait, and they fall in for the bait. They outplayed themselves, so that and then I saw what I need to do so that we'll maintain the win. And I gave them a 6-goal head start because I wanted to see the character of these boys. If we are in a losing part, are we able to come back? And they did that.
Coming into a tournament, there's always a vision, there's goals and aims. Do you feel that you have reached what you were aiming for?
Not yet, but we are going there. If ever we can get more support, like if we can get more training time, because we've got players like Roderick. Roderick, if he can get enough time to train, he can be a weapon of our country. He can be anything that we want. But now he only gets tougher trainings when he is with us. But when he get back home, then he relaxes. But he's the tallest of them all. And everyone, even the crowd, when I put him in, they
get
laughed.
excited. Yes.
They laughed because Now, if they love him, then he needs to come to the party. That's that.
Sure. So, coach, let's chat about the girls. They just won. They won the tournament 3-0. It's a new team under new coaches, under the new captaincy of Okanyesa Chawane. How do you feel about the team?
The girls are starting to scare me now. But sometimes when we go head to head, we'll see what we can do, because we are still going to have practice games with them, trying to figure out how we can outsmart other countries during the Africa Cup. So, yeah, but the girls are on fire. You see, even their goal margins, when they win, they don't just win. They make sure we win, and they don't want to put any pressure around them. So I was telling my boys that, you see, we are late on putting the ball on the goalpost. So that's what we need to try and rectify, so that we have more balls going to a goalpost so that we can shoot.
So watching the girls, because I know that you stayed behind, you were not just supporting the girls, but it was also an analysis session for you and the team.
Yes. Yeah, we have to analyze them, because I've seen some of the patterns they're playing, and I've seen how they defend. So have to also work around that. And also my boys, I told them that if we have to be clear and sure about how we defend, because if we are not clear about how we defend, then it's a problem.
Coach, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to chatting to you again, but I hope there's going to be more matches that we get to witness.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If there's one thing my muscles are adjusting to, is the stretching of the neck, because netball players are almost all of you are tall.
Sure.
Yeah, and we do have the captain of the males senior team, Oludendo Maiwashe, aka
Nice.
Toti.
Yeah.
I know how to pronounce it now. Toti, wow. What a tournament it has been.
Sure.
Beating Zimbabwe 3-0. What was that like?
Well, I wish I could say we saw it coming, but Zimbabwe is totally a different team. We knew from the get-go they're gonna give us a tough time. They came with everything they had. They're a strong team. Yeah, they have speed, agility, everything, height. They are an amazing team. So we knew they were gonna give us a run for our money. But obviously we had to work around that. We had a few training sessions. After our first game, we knew exactly where we had to fix, and we did exactly that. Yeah.
And they were competitive. And what I want to know, what were the conversations you had during the breaks, at halftime, and how serious do they get these conversations? Because we're never privy to them.
I mean, we are a talented team, honestly speaking. So the conversations we had would be just a reminder of what we spoke about during our team meetings, during our trainings, but it was mostly to remind each other about short passes, safe passes, grade R netball, grade 2 netball, just to, not to try and be fancy. And because sometimes we get too excited, especially when there's crowd and whatever, people watching and whatever. So those were the conversations to try and keep things simple.
Playing indoor, how different does that feel, or how does it change your game?
I mean, it's a privilege, honestly, playing indoor where there's no sun, where there's no rain, where you understand? So it gives us enough time to breathe also, and not have to worry about surface, not to worry about weather or anything. So it's something nice. Yeah.
But overall, how do you feel about the squad? Because we are building up to the Africa Cup.
We are still a squad, as you said, and a lot of players are still to be selected. Myself, I still need to go for trials, and so is the rest of the team. So, but from what we displayed this weekend, I feel like there's future in the netball, and we stand a good chance to win the Africa Cup as well.
From a player's point of view, let's talk about the growth of males netball, especially after looking at how competitive Zimbabwe are and the game that you brought as well.
I mean, also what made me happy was that we had media also this time, and publicity. People are now getting used to the fact that there is male netball, And it gives us hope that the future is bright in terms of netball, not only in Africa, but, in South Africa also.
We are at the Ellis Park Arena, and we are now joined by the coach of the national team in Zimbabwe, that is Coach Tapiwa. Coach, wow, how is South Africa this time around? I think the last time you and I were together was during the Africa qualifiers.
Yes, for the under-21s, definitely.
Yes.
Was,
This time around, how was it?
it was actually more interesting. It was more fun. I mean, the diversity of it all, me now coming with the boys, it was fun. It was enjoyable.
Let's talk about the whole tournament, your experience plus playing indoor.
I think it was a great experience for us, especially as Zimbabwe and especially as men's netball. I think representing worldwide men's netball, it's a sport that's upcoming, and I think this platform that we got, and it's definitely going to showcase netball for the whole world.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, how big is netball, males netball in Zimbabwe?
Well, I'll tell you what, this is an interesting one.
Yeah.
Like from Botswana, we went to Botswana, right? We were newbies. We were nobody. Nobody knew us. People who drink countries like Kenya, because they were the ones that were closer to South Africa. So when we came in, nobody knew us. We beat Kenya, we beat Botswana, and people were suddenly like, wow, there is Zimbabwe, So back home, it wasn't really like that. But when we went back now with the silver medal, everybody took interest, and it just grew like that. The league that we have now, about 15 competitive teams, I'm telling you.
Really?
Yes, from all over the country.
Wow.
They play monthly, once a month.
Nice. Are there any stigmas, though, attached to males netball? Because it's always seen as a women's sport in Zimbabwe.
Yes. This is exactly the problem and the challenge that we're facing. Sometimes people take this the wrong way. When they look at sports like netball, just like as women's soccer used to be looked at, this is exactly the opposite. Like the inverse opposite of what's happening to males netball. But people are slowly coming into it. I used to play basketball myself.
Okay.
I also play netball.
Okay.
Even though I'm still coaching the guys, I still play. So you find that somehow netball is a bit more interesting than basketball.
Yes.
It's a lot more challenging. You look at it, especially the men's version of it. I think you actually saw the games.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. Everyone is extra. There's jumps, and then you're like, hey, is that even allowed? But then when you look at it, it's actually allowed.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's dynamic, It's just being a new vector to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's actually helping even the girls themselves, I think.
Definitely.
Now when the girls train against their national teams, you can tell South Africa, I mean, they're a whole new level. You could actually show these girls were playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say were your challenges, Coach, looking at this tournament?
Well, our challenge was that we got this invitation on short notice, right? So we actually held trials 4 days back here in South Africa because of that. We had to fulfill the tournament because we couldn't let the host down, and it was actually a great experience for us as well. So yeah, it was tough. It was tough just trying to blend like with South African based players, we have Zim based players, and trying to blend their play together. One day, I'm telling you, that was tough.
You've got 8 based players, right?
Yes.
South African based.
But of the 8, we picked about 5 and 7 are from Zim. So I'm trying to fuse two types of play together for the national team, and that doesn't happen in one day.
Yeah.
So I'm actually happy with the results. I'm actually elated that they managed to push to this level because we these last 2 games they went to the wire.
Yeah.
As much as we lost here, but I mean South Africa is the best.
What would you say is your biggest lesson from this tournament?
From this tournament, well, I think we have to adjust on the umpiring part. Yeah, definitely that we have to adjust because when my guys thought things were not going their way, they were just offset. They started changing structure. They started playing, it was just haphazard netball. We have certain structures that we're playing. That's why I think we managed to keep up with South Africa. But once we crumble, those structures are gone. They just start playing free play. I'm telling you.
Okay. Coach, all the best looking at growing netball, but also just having a solid team. I see the passion in your eyes, and I do wish you all the best.
Thanks. Thanks so
Safe
much.
travels back home.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We are now joined by Captain Fantastic of the Zimbabwe national team, Leopard. Yeah, what a tournament. 3 games back to back, and they were on fire. How was it for you?
For us, first of all, I want to thank Netball South Africa for giving us the opportunity to present ourselves here, and we are so grateful for that opportunity. And for the preparation of Africa Championships, it was something else that we learned by each and every game that we were playing. So yeah, it was interesting, and we really enjoy it. Yes.
Yeah, but let's talk about, I know that your team assembled quite late, the team that was playing. But let's talk about the quality that you have and the quality that was displayed in that short space of time.
First of all, I want to thank my coaches for their dedication and their instruction. It was a short time for us to connect. It was some of players, they stay here in South Africa, some they stay in Zimbabwe. So we just joined for 2 days and tried to make something good. But yeah, we tried our utmost to quick connect and gel as a team and build that connection and that structure of the game. So yeah, it was good.
How would you motivate each other in the locker rooms? Because during the half times, we would see a different game plan when you would come back.
In our locker room, for us, we encourage each other by singing songs so that we can take the pressure out of hand, so that we don't think about the game, go out of the game. And when you come back fresh-headed, then you do something good. And then we just follow the instruction of the coaches. So yeah, we sing a lot so that we can take the intensity of the game out of us so that we come back fresh.
Yeah, I got to experience you guys walking out of the locker room and you were just singing. That was amazing. So that is also just part of you guys building each other songs.
It brings us together when we are singing, and everyone just come together. And by doing that, we take all the, as a player, you think a lot about the game and situations will happen. But when you start singing, you forget about the game and then be free. And then, yeah.
And you as a player, how has this tournament helped you out?
For me, it helped me a lot to be a leader in the court and outside the courts. And when I'm the captain, you have a lot of issues around the court, and to encourage everyone in the court to not let their guys go down, but to keep on going, keep focused, and keep on our structures. So yeah, it helped me to grow as a person and as an individualist. So I thank for the opportunity for that.
Yeah. Thank you for coming through and honoring the invitation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the gold medalist, the assistant coach of the SPAR Proteas, Zanele Mtotana. Coach, your first cap and you're a gold medalist. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Karabo. So happy. Really, really, really impressed with the way the girls hit the ground running in the series. We really wanted to put out strong performances right across the 3 test matches, and we've achieved that. It's also a beautiful moment for us to know that we broke that record that's been standing since 2020, the 41 gap. So we won by 45 today.
Yeah.
So we had objectives for ourselves, and it's good that we could, get on court and execute them.
How easy or difficult was it? Because you all seemed like a team. You seemed like a team that has been solid for years.
Yeah.
How did you get that right?
Yeah, we've got the total buy-in of the players, and they know exactly where we want to go. We've put our objectives out, and they've bought in, and they understand that it's not going to be an easy journey, but they're willing to make those adjustments and sacrifices that is needed for us to go where we're going. We know it's the bigger picture. This is just the start, but we wanted a good start, to reintroduce ourselves as the SPAR Proteas, and there's so much more coming.
At the press conference, Coach Jenny said you want to win the series 3-0. Was that the plan initially, or after the press conference, did it kind of then put the pressure on you guys, because now it's out there for everyone to hear that this is the plan?
Yeah. No, we came into it knowing that that's what we wanted to do. So we weren't going to rest until that objective was achieved. We know Malawi came out strong in the second test. For a moment, that first quarter, it looked like, oh my goodness, they've come out to play. But we stuck to our guns and we stuck to our processes. We know what works for us, and we know the depth we've got. We know the variety we've got, and the versatility of our players. So we could throw different combinations, and it was so good to see those combinations working, even though they haven't had enough time in training. So it's a positive for us to see that, we can trust our players. When we show them that trust, they go out on court and deliver.
And all the players got an opportunity to play?
Yes.
Yeah.
All 15 of them, yes.
That's big. That's huge.
Yes.
And they were all impressive.
And it's a good headache to have as a coach. It's nice to, players mustn't make it easy for us to say, I want to be on the stands, or I don't want to get on court. Everybody's sitting ready and they keep raising the standard. It's a good challenge for us. And that's what we want to instill in our girls, that don't be okay with sitting on the bench. Put up your hand every single time. Make us regret not playing you, So we're very happy.
Let's talk about the spectators. This arena was packed.
Yes.
How does that make you feel as a coach?
amazing.
Yeah.
We want this to be a brand that people can relate with, people want to support. It's time for netball now to really elevate to the next level. And if we put out these kind of performances, we will always get the support of our people. You know, it was great, the atmosphere, the singing and the dancing, and just knowing that these players, what they've been working so hard towards in the behind the scenes, the people get out here to really see what that work means and what that work looks like. So we just wish from here it's upwards and forwards.
Yeah. Coach, congratulations once again, and let the games begin, because more hard work has to be put in.
No, definitely. I mean, we're heading to the Africa Cup now. They say Uganda's going to be there.
Mhm.
So that's our next challenge that we're going to take head on.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Not feeling much like greedy or much better because we've lost all the games. This is not what we planned as a team, but losing the 3 games has given us like positive impacts to our team. We've seen our weaknesses as we're going out, as we'll be going for African Championship. Going back home to Malawi, we've seen our weaknesses where we'll be working on so that we should improve. We've seen that our team is making a lot of unnecessary turnovers, of which they are controllable. So maybe it might be just because of how we prepared with the time we were given. I can say that I've picked a lot of things which we need to work on as a team, as a coach, so that going forward, we won't perform the way we have performed with this series. The negative side is like, as I already said, that this is not what we planned. We planned that if we might win 2 or 1 game, but it didn't come out that way. But going back home, I think we have learned a lot of things which will be working on it to improve our team. And I think by coming here, it wasn't a mistake. Because if we were stayed back at home, we could have relaxed thinking that our team is better. But by playing the series, we have seen where we have to work on to improve and to come up with a strong team. These series are more important, like playing with South Africa, which is on top of us. It has helped us like to gain some points, even though the margin is too huge. And looking forward to the African Championship, we have a huge mountain to climb. Considering the fact that we'll be meeting South Africa, Uganda, we have a huge task ahead of us. So I think with this series, we have seen our strengths, our weaknesses, of which I believe they can be like rectified. They can be like resolved on court. Sometimes it needs time for a team which is in the process of rebuilding to be coordinated well for the first like games like series like this. But the African Championship will be like our next games, so it won't be the same to display us the way we have played this test series. But it has given us a positive impact going back home to rectify our mistakes, so that when we're going to African Championship, it won't be the same, and we'll improve our standards.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how we went by this whole series, how we started and how we finished. As much as the coaches did look for more consistency, but I did think that we were climbing up each and every game. We really improved. And I'm really impressed with the group because every combination that the coach decided to put on, we were there for one another and we really played well and supported one another. So if I could say anything about this team, I'm really proud of each and every person that really stepped on that court. Whatever opportunity that was put out there for any player, they really stepped up and did their job. So it also makes my job easier as well as a captain. Leading a team like this is much more easier, and it wasn't rocky, if I can put it like that.
Is the champions for the 2024 SPAR Challenge. It is the
And that's a wrap on an electrifying 3-day test series between the SPAR Proteas and the Malawi Queens. We've witnessed thrilling intercepts, goals galore and records shattered. Under the expert guidance of coach Jenny van Dijk, assistant coach Zanele Mdodana and captain Kanyisa Chawane, the SPAR Proteas have ushered in a new era of netball excellence. As they conclude their first outing of the year, the team deserves hearty congratulations on a job well done. Now it's time for a well-deserved break, but the focus will soon be on the Africa Cup in December, hosted in Namibia. The SPAR Proteas will regroup, recharge, and refocus on their mission to dominate the continent. Thank you for joining us on this exciting journey. Until next time, stay passionate about netball and keep supporting our incredible SPAR Proteas.